Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the special board meeting of the Simcoe County District School Board for Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. We'll start tonight's meeting with the land acknowledgement of traditional territory, and then it'll be read by Superintendent Playford.
The Simcoe County District School Board acknowledges that we are situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. The Anishinaabe include the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations, collectively known as the Three Fires Confederacy. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect with all First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people.
All right, thank you. Please rise if you're able for the national anthem. The national anthem is courtesy of Innisdale Secondary School. And now the statement of respect will be read by Superintendent Playford.
The Simcoe County District School Board is committed to creating a culture of belonging, engagement, and success for all through deliberate actions and an intentional focus in the areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The Simcoe County District School Board of Trustees will conduct meetings in an inclusive, respectful manner that upholds the principles of respect for human rights and allows all members, staff, and guests to participate fully, regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, age, ability, and gender.
All right, thank you for that. Now we'll take the roll call. Executive Assistant Henry will take the roll call. Tonight we have two absences for trustees. Trustee Armstrong is absent this evening. She advised me in advance that due to a previous educational commitment, she is unable to attend tonight's special meeting of the board. So at this time, the board is required to move a motion to authorize or not authorize the absence. Is there a trustee who would like to move a motion to authorize the absence of Trustee Armstrong for the November 12th, 2025 special board meeting? Trustee Talbot, seconded by Trustee Connors. Okay, so I'll read the motion that the board authorize the absence of Trustee Donna Armstrong for the special meeting of the board held November 12th, 2025. Any questions or comments on this? All right, then I'll call the question. All those in favor? Is there anyone opposed? And that carries. Thank you. Also, Trustee Bites is absent this evening. She advised me in advance that due to a work commitment, she is unable to attend tonight's special meeting of the board. So at this time, the board is required to move a motion to authorize or not authorize her absence. Is there a trustee who would like to move a motion to authorize Trustee Bites' absence for tonight's meeting? Trustee Wilson, seconded by Trustee Harrigan. So I'll read that motion then. The board authorize the absence of Trustee Sarah Bites for the special meeting of the board held November 12th, 2025. Any questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. Thank you very much. And tonight we have authorized electronic participation from Trustee Foley and Trustee Lloyd. So that takes us to A5, the approval of the agenda. Do we have a mover for the approval of the agenda? Trustee Grummett, seconded by Trustee Harrigan. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. Thank you. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest? Okay, not seeing any. So that takes us to B, recommendations for action. And under B1, we have committee minutes reports, items for decision. We have the report of the public session of the audit committee meeting held Monday, November 3rd, 2025. And for that, I believe we have Superintendent Van Nispen. Thank you.
Thank you, and through the chair to the table. Included in the report tonight is decision with regards to approval of the audited financial statements for the year ended August 31st, 2025. The year-end audit is a large accomplishment for the business services staff and the audit team from BDO, particularly due to the tight reporting timelines of the ministry. I would like to thank both teams for their efforts and dedication to this accounting event. To the chair, I would like to invite our auditors from BDO, partner Carrie Graham and senior manager Andrea Nuss, to comment on the audit, and follow that with inviting Controller Landry to make a couple comments on the financial statements.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. It's my pleasure to provide you our report on the audited financial statements of the school board for the year ended August 31st, 2025. I'm Andrea Noss. I'm a senior manager in the Barrie office of BDO Canada, the audit firm, and we've been engaged to provide auditing services to the school board. In my role in the engagement, I'm responsible for the day-to-day management of the audit, and I've been the liaison between our firm and the staff at the school board throughout the process. So the purpose of my presentation is to give you a brief overview of the audit process and the results of the audit. As in previous years, we completed the bulk of our audit procedures during the month of October. We're pleased to report that we did not encounter any problems in completing our procedures, and we received full cooperation of management and staff during the audit, and we found the books and records to be in good order. Also, any questions that arose during the audit were appropriately answered. And then we met with management to discuss the results of the audit and to review a draft of the financial statements in detail, discuss any outstanding matters, and finalize the audit and the draft financial statements. Then the next step was that we attended the audit committee meeting on November 3rd, 2025, at which time we reviewed the results of the audit in detail and discussed any questions raised by the committee members. The financial statements are a summary of the day-to-day transactions for the year, which are recorded in the books and records of the school board. Management is responsible for ensuring that these transactions are properly recorded and that the books and records are properly maintained. Our responsibility as auditors is to perform our audit procedures and give the board an opinion as to whether the financial statements are a fair summary of the year's transactions. And our formal audit report is on page 3 and 4 of the financial statement package. And our opinion is set out in the second part of the first section, and it states that, in our opinion, these consolidated financial statements of the Simcoe County District School Board, as at and for the year ended August 31st, 2025, are prepared in all material respects in accordance with the basis of accounting described in the summary of significant accounting policies attached to the consolidated financial statements. And that's what's known as a clean audit opinion, indicating that we're in agreement with the financial statements as presented and that we have no problems to report as a result of our audit. So that concludes my report on the audit, and if you have any questions on it or our audit report, I'd be happy to address them.
All right, thank you. Any questions at this time? And trustees? No? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, and thank you to again to BDO, and through the chair, if I could invite Controller Landry to the table to make some comments
absolutely.
on the financial statements.
Join us at the table. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Powell, and through you to the table. On behalf of Superintendent Van Nispen and myself, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to BDO for their exemplary efforts in completing the year-end financials. BDO and Manager Neeb and her team's professionalism, attention to detail, and commitment to timeliness have been instrumental in ensuring a successful close to yet another fiscal year. Thank you for all your continued dedication and excellence. So we're going to get started. I'm going to go through the statement of financial position, which is the balance sheet, as well as the statement of operations, which is the income statement, with some high-level comments on the variances and define some of the terms that you may not be familiar with or they aren't very common. At the end, I will stop and ask for questions. So if you want to just hold off until I complete all of the reviews, I'll let you ask any questions at that time. So let's start with the consolidated statement of financial position. It's PDF page 39 or BDO's statement page 5. The overall cash balances are increased, so they're up. It's simply related to the timing of ingoing and outgoing funds. Accounts receivable balances are down. This is due to the core education receivable related to labor settlements receivable that were set up in the prior year. The accounts receivable Government of Ontario is down. That's related to OFA loan payments and delayed grant payments that accounted for the reduction. Temporary borrowings, which was a new account last year, these accounts are used to draw on our operating line to facilitate land purchases. This year in 2025, our increase was for the new Barrie South Elementary School, commonly known as Thicketwood. Overall account payable balances are down. This is a result of ministry-directed labor provision for unsettled union negotiations and unpaid Bill 124 payments that was accrued at the end of last year in August 24. As well, the core education accounts payable balance is down from the prior year. Deferred revenue is down. This is a use of special education and Indigenous deferred revenues that accounted for the reduction. Deferred capital contributions are up. These are funds received and recognized with the amortization of capital. Employee future benefit, which is the old system of the retirement gratuity that was retired back and frozen back in 2012, which also includes sick leave and other compensated absences. So currently we have 1,583 employees with balances, whereas prior year it was a larger, I think we're about 95 less than we were last year. For net long-term debt, we have no new debt in the current year, as capital is now funded directly through the ministry. Current debt is guaranteed and funded by the ministry, and payments on existing long-term debt will be completed by March of 2039. As well, I'll note that the retirement of the sinking fund payment will occur in June 2026. The asset retirement obligations are down. This is essentially due to Tech North being sold in 24-25, at which time their AR balance was removed from the total balance of asset retirement obligation. Capital assets are up. Various capital asset increases have come from the building of Horseshoe Heights Elementary, land costs associated with new builds, as I noted earlier, the new Barrie South Elementary, Thicketwood. Construction and process costs are up due to builds of Barrie South Elementary on Dean, and the addition of Nantyre Shores Secondary, as well as a lot of various projects that are ongoing. Annual renewal and school condition improvement projects occurred across numerous schools during the school year as well. Normally I would go on to accumulated surplus. I'm going to put a pin in that, and we're going to do that one at the end. So we're going to move on to the consolidated statement of operations. You'll find that on page PDF 40 or BDO's statement, page 6. There is also an Appendix C, which you'll find on page 70, that presents the variances between budget and actual for 24-25. What I am going to present now is the differences of actuals, revenues, and expenses year over year. So the core education funding is up over the prior year, partially due to an enrollment increase. We were at 56,300 students in 2024 versus 56,700 in 2025. There were other non-staff benchmark increases. Transportation increased as funding models now recognize the funding for vans. School management increase due to centralized principals and vice principal pay grid changes, as well as pupil foundation increase related to overall salary increases. Provincial grants were overall decreased, and that's as a result of the prior year, including an increase in revenues that covered the Bill 124 union contract settlements. SGF, or school generated fund revenues, are up again over the prior year. These are as a result of higher food sales, more school trips and field trips that are aiding in the increasing of the fund generation. You will also see that offset in the SGF expenses further down. Other fees and revenues are down. This is the use of EDC revenue that offsets EDC expenditures that was down over prior year. All right, so on the expenses side, one of the biggest financial pressures that we continue to see happening in the board is the sick leave, which as it has increased again this year to a total of $29 million for 24-25 school year. Transportation expenses are down due to our numerous inclement weather days and some lower fuel costs. Other expenses are down. A portion was related to Indigenous tuition in a reciprocal agreement, as well as a portion related to reduced PPE, which continues to be happening as a result of the end of COVID. Note 12, expenses by object, which is on page PDF 63, or BDO page statement 29. It's a different way to look at them, look at the financials. It's by expense type as opposed to the ministry funding category. What it will show you pretty quickly is that 87% of our expenditures continue to be for salary, wages, and benefits of our employees. Okay, so now we can move on to accumulated surplus. That's note 9, which you'll find on BDO's, or on PDF page 61, or the BDO statement page 27. First one is available for compliance unappropriated. So this amount is down about $417,000, which is the net difference of $302,000 of in-year operating surplus, plus $720,000 approved by the board to pay for ice storm cleanup and student supports. On the facility renewal side, we have funds set aside for projects related to preventative maintenance and site improvements that were unable to be completed in the fiscal year. We use these funds in the current year for preventative maintenance such as painting and tech shops, air handlers, portable repairs, just various items. Other board appropriated is made up of various items such as school basic budget, the energy stabilization fund. So when we have a budgeted amount for energy and we come in under that, we put the difference back into surplus. We also have contractual local priorities, opening and closing of school funds set aside to cover over and above what the ministry provides us with on a build. We have committed capital projects, which is capital work unsupported by the Ministry of Education. An example of a committed capital project is work done here at the Education Center over the past number of years, including the roof replacement, site improvements, and so forth. Last category is unavailable for compliance, which is externally appropriated surplus, which cannot be touched, and includes revenue recognized for land, offset of the cost of land, school-generated funds, amounts to be recovered, another year of the entire retirement gratuity amortization, and that is pretty much the summary. Do we have any questions?
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any questions from trustees? No? Yes, Trustee Rafiq.
Thank you very much, and through the chair. Maybe it's a comment instead of a question. I actually had a few questions, but I watched the audit meeting, and my trustee colleagues asked some questions that gave me some clarity. But I didn't see, do we have that meeting, or sorry, I'm not sure who I'm directing my question to. Are those meetings are posted publicly? I didn't see it on our YouTube channel. I just wondered if the public has questions that may be answered on those meetings as well. I know on the agenda it says that the meeting is recorded and available to the public, but I was sent it. I couldn't find it, so I didn't know.
Director Stevens.
Thank you, and I just checked to my right, and it is available upon request, so we don't post it publicly. It's available upon request to the public.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, one. Okay. Go ahead, Brandy. Go ahead, Trustee Rafiq,
Thank you very much. Through the chair. Thank you, Trustee Strawn. Sorry, I just forgot that I did have one other question there too. And then forgive me, I forget the terminology, the 2012 money that we're dealing with, the pause there. So I believe I've asked this question before and I just forget, I'm sorry. Do we know when that will end, when that actually comes to an end, or is it, there's probably factors that could change that, or do we have a date in mind?
Superintendent Van Nispen.
Thank you, and through the chair to Trustee Rafiq. It's just whenever the remaining employees retire and draw on their funds that have been set aside for them.
Thank you. Vice Chair Strawn.
Thank you, Chair Powell, and this is just a comment. I wanted to, on behalf of myself and Trustee Talbot and the Audit Committee, just thank BDO and Superintendent Van Nispen and his team for the in-depth and lengthy presentation that we had on November 3rd. And of course, all of the work that went into preparing for the audit, and congratulations on achieving a clean audit. It's very nice to see, and it's great to see the relationship that we have with our auditors. We always hear from our auditors how organized and cooperative and responsive the staff here are. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, and congratulations again on the audit.
All right, thank you. So any other questions or comments? All right, well, I thank you very much to the presenters for your report. And we do have a couple of recommendations to put before the board now. So there are two recommendations, and I'll read them. The first is that the board approve the audited financial statements for the year ended August 31st, 2025, as set out in report number AUD D1A, audited 2024-25 financial statements dated November 3rd, 2025. And do I have a, sorry, my screen closed on me here. Do I have a mover for this? Trustee Talbot, seconded by Vice Chair Strawn. So I'll open the floor for any further questions. Are there any further questions on this? Doesn't look like it. So I'll call the question. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. Thank you very much. And the second recommendation is that the board approve the proposed Regional Internal Audit Plan 2025-27 as set out in Appendix A of report number AUD D1B, Internal Audit Update, dated November 3rd, 2025. And do I have a mover for this? Trustee Rafiq, seconded by Vice Chair Strawn. Are there any further questions on this motion? Okay, so I'll call the question. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? And that carries. Thank you very much. And I thank our presenters again. Okay, so that takes us to C, which is future meetings of the board, standing committees and advisory committees. The next meeting is pretty soon, in about 10 minutes, the program standing committee meeting. And then our next meeting is the accessibility advisory committee meeting on Monday, November 17th, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. Then we have the organizational board meeting, November 17th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Parent involvement committee meeting, November 25, 6 p.m. And the next regular meeting of the board is November 26, 2025 at 6 p.m. So it takes us to D, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Trustee Wilson, seconded by Trustee Grummett. All those in favor? Anyone opposed to that? Okay, and that carries. And we're just going to take a 10-minute break to get set up for program. Thank you.